everybody, and welcome to Meals with Melissa, where I come up with healthier options of the things that you love to eat. So today, now this is gonna be an interesting one because I found the recipe and I kind of went, okay, that's great, but you didn't really have any amounts on there. It was just a video, and I love Pinterest, but I had to do a little experimentation. So what you're gonna get is my view or my version of this great option, which is sweet potato hash browns, because of course we love sweet potatoes, and not the kind that come in a can because those are kind of grody. But you know, when you're using fresh yams or sweet potatoes, they are so nutrient dense and they're a great option. And if you allow them to cool off a little bit, it changes their chemical structure to a complex carbohydrate, which does not hit your bloodstream quite as fast with glucose. So again, I kind of made up this version. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take some already, oh gosh, I'm having one of those mornings, I'm telling you. I used a peeler, thank you. I peeled the skin off of my sweet potato, and I've already done a little bit here, but I am shredding it with just a regular grater, like a cheese grater. And I'm going to just use kind of a 2-2-2-2 situation here. So I'm doing about 2 cups of sweet potato or yam. There's a whole story behind that, but just know that you can use either. So I'm gonna do about 2 cups of that, and I'm gonna put it in a bowl. Now, already on my stove behind me, I have 2 tablespoons of coconut oil heating up. Now, I like coconut oil because it has a little bit higher smoking point than, say, olive oil, but you could also use grass-fed butter, such as Kerrygold. That tends to be the one that I usually grab when I need it. And of course, with butter, you're gonna get a little more buttery flavor, which not a downside to that. Now, again, butter is not necessarily a problem. It's, you know, sometimes it's what that product contains. So the more processed a product is, it's not so great. So if you're using grass-fed butter, because remember, it's not exactly the product itself, it's what you ate that can actually be the problem. So if you're doing a lot of like grain-fed beef and things like that, that is what causes the inflammation, not the red meat itself. So again, not a bad option. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna throw my 2 cups-ish of sweet potato in my bowl. Yeah, it's definitely Saturday morning. I tried to sleep in. That didn't work very well. All right, so to that, I'm going to add 2 whole eggs. Now, you can obviously use egg whites. You know, we do need some fat. So really, it's totally up to you, but I'm going to add whole eggs because I prefer the taste, the flavor, and of course, the vitamins are all in the yolk. All right, so I'm gonna add that to my bowl of sweet potato. To that, I'm also going to add just a little bit of salt and pepper for flavor. Again, that's more for to your taste. We use Himalayan pink salt at my house. And yes, we buy it in bulk because we use a lot. A little bit of pepper, and then 2 tablespoons of fresh chopped parsley. So again, I kind of went with a 2-2-2. 2 tablespoons of coconut oil in my pan, 2 cups of the sweet potato, 2 eggs. Yeah. Honestly, that just made it easy, and it turned out just great. So I'm gonna mix that up just really well. You wanna make sure that all the sweet potatoes covered, because of course the egg's gonna help it to cook and bind together. And then I'm just gonna take my tablespoon and I'm going to plop it in my pan. So again, I've already got my hot pan. It's ready to go. I'm gonna put that on medium heat. Don't turn it up too high because otherwise it'll brown too fast. And you do wanna replace that oil in between. It heats up pretty fast, so not a big deal. You just don't want to overdo it, overcook the oil itself because it degrades it a little bit. So I'm just taking a spoonful. I'm going to put that in my pan and kind of smush that out flat. Now, initially my pan was hotter. I turned it down a little bit so it wouldn't ruin the oil before I got there. But I'm going to put 2 of these in there at a time. You could use a bigger pan, but let me show you what these are going to look like. You guys, super easy, just a much, much better option than, say, a baker potato that is very, very quickly, very, very starchy and very quickly turns to sugar in your bloodstream. And of course, if you're diabetic, you shouldn't be eating those anyway. So here's what they're going to look like, nice and crispy. Oh, they're so good. I love sweet potato. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's one of the best complex carbohydrates out there. They turned out gorgeous and, you know, it just looks beautiful. So frying itself is not a problem. The problem comes to what you fry it in. So if you're doing it yourself, you know what's in it, you know what you're cooking with, and you know that it's a cold pressed, a very low processed option, you're going to have better results than, say, I don't know, vegetable oil. Horrible for you, by the way. All right, so that's what they look like. If you have any questions, I am gonna post this down below. Again, realize that this is my take on something that I found on Pinterest, and I love Pinterest. There's some great ideas. You can be very creative with your nutrition planning You just have to be willing to do a little bit of preparedness and work ahead of time. So have an incredible day, you guys. It's spring. I love it. I don't think I've ever been this excited about spring, ever. Enjoy it. Enjoy the weather. Have an incredible weekend, you guys. That is Meals with Melissa. Have a great day.